Okay. So we know how to add a API in the JMeter and how to do recording. Okay. Now let's understand one by one components of JMeter. Then so that whenever you got a requirement, you can write a script. So we'll be concentrating more on the JMeter components 90%. Then only we'll cover other components like some calculations, some scenarios in the last. Okay. First we'll cover in the JMeter part. So on that we discussed the first component of JMeter is thread group. So what is thread group? Thread group is nothing but load generator. So without this thread group, we can't run the load. So whatever the APIs or how many number of APIs you kept in this thread group, these load generated details are will be applicable to all the requests. Okay. So let's create a new script. So first thing now you will have adding a thread group. Okay. Now I will add one sampler HTTP request. So let's put this as a okay, let's use that thing only. Which we manually created my APIs. Okay. Okay, we kept only get and status, no? That's why we discussed it, right? So let's say, so if I have two APIs here now, it means whatever the load I'll give, the load will be applicable to all these two APIs. If I have 10 APIs, it will apply 10. 20 APIs, the load will apply 20. Straight away. Okay. So the first, let's say, observe the thread properties. The thread properties, nothing but you will see the number of threads are users. It means how many users you want to run a script. Okay. So the one if you give means JMeter will run this whole script with one user. Okay. If I give two users means run with two users. If I give 10 means 10 users. So how many APIs we have here? Two APIs in our script. So if I run with 10 users, total how many requests? Total how many requests will come?
20.
20. 10 into 2. So each user has to hit this AP get post and get post. So like 10 users, 10 into 20. Okay, so let's run. Let's see. Okay, ignore the error as of now. You will, if you see, you got 20. So now it's a bit difficult to count, right? So that's where we'll be adding one more listener to check the list of data called view results table. Means simple nothing but display the results in a table. So let me clear everything and run. So that will get to know whether it really counted 20 or not. See, we got 20 samples. So view registry and view registry difference is view registry, we can see our sampler data, I mean the load metric along with the request and response. But other listeners, right, we only see in the metrics only. Okay, so why I had it here? Because I want to just check whether it's really found getting the 20 or not. Suppose if I give 6 here, so how many requests will come? If I run
12.
this, how many?
12 requests. 6 into
12.
2.
Yes, 6 into 12 requests. So if I run the clear rate, run 12.
Number of users, threads means.
Yes, that's the users. How many users you want to run our script?
Okay.
Okay. Now another one more property called ramp up. So ramp up is nothing but how do you want to distribute our users? Okay. Suppose see, uh, let's take a big mountain, right? On the big mountain, if you have some marbles, if you lose all the marbles at one time, what will happen? All will come down, right? Without any restrictions, all marbles will come down, no? And it's a slope is there. Got it, no?
Yes.
Yeah. Otherwise, if you keep a plain floor, if you keep the marbles on the plain floor, so if you push them, no, they will move slowly, not with that much of speed. Correct. Due to in the plain floor, there's a no force to them push it. Same as like to control the users, whether you want to hit all the users at same time or you want to hit one user sometime. That user to user gap is defined by this ramp up period. Okay. So let me
Second.
Okay, so I have 10 users. Means U1, U2 to U10, correct? Suppose now there is application. Suppose now I want to hit all this at same time. I means in a span of 1 second only. Okay, immediately, right? Or there is another option also. After some gap, first U1 will come. After some gap, U2. After some gap, U3. After some gap, U3. We can hit the application like this way, right? So now to hit this application like this, to keep the gap of user to user to user to user, user to user, that we call ramp up. Ramp up will help us to define the gap between user to users. Okay, so how it will do? It has some calculation. So the formula now user to user gap formula is ramp up by number of users, right? Suppose now let's give users as 10 and let's give ramp up is 100 seconds. It means I want to distribute my 10 users in the 100 seconds ramp up. Right? Now, what is the user to user gap? What is the formula? Ramp up by number of users. What is ramp up? 100, na? And number of is 10. So it means every user to user gap, 10 seconds will be there. Means after U1, 10 seconds gap, U2, 10 seconds gap, U3, 10 seconds gap, U4 like that. So till this gap, na application, I mean JMeter will hold and it won't do anything from the user perspective. So user one can do his job. Once he triggered, right, he will do he'll run the script based on the script. But other user will wait here. So let's say if I give ramp up as 10. Now what is user to user gap?
1 second.
1 second.
1 second, right? So it means every one user, the users will go. So now if I give 1 here, now what is user to user gap? In 1 second only 10 all will go, 10 all users. 1 by 10, right? So it means in 1 second all 10 will go. Okay. So to understand this, right, easily, I will keep here only one request so that, I mean, we could get the numbers easily. Suppose let's see. Otherwise, okay, let's go table only. So we kept here 10 users and my ramp up is 1. Run the script now. Yeah, how do I know that? If you see the start times, right? The start time nothing but the request has triggered at this time from JMeter. If you see, it's all like kind of millisecond difference, right? 10.5, 10.7, 10.8, 10 is nothing but second here, na? So they are like millisecond difference.
Yes.
Millisecond difference because what I given ramp up as 1. So why I disable 2? Because otherwise you will see again second request also. So kind of bit confusion. So we have to only take the first request. That's why, right? So now let's say I have given 100 seconds. 100 seconds is nothing but 1.5 minute, right? Kind of, right? Near to. Now if I run the script, now let's see. See, first request got triggered, so it's waiting. 10 seconds. You can see the right side, the top here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6 second user will come. And you can see the difference here, 2301, 2311. Based on your load modeling, you can decide this ramp up. How do you want to do? Some scenarios you need users at the same time. Some users have to spawn the 1 hour like that. So then you're giving the ramp up like this. See, 21, 31. Every 10-second gap, one user will is coming up. 41. 51. Understood, right? The ramp up. Ramp up is very important because if you don't know the how to give the number ramp up properly, and if you give some like minimum number or maximum number, your application not suiting that one, no, you'll get errors. So in a real estate, assume that in real estate, it's a like normal application, so users will come not at a time. But in your scripting, you tested with users at same time, and you say that oh, you are getting a lot of errors, so you have to update application. But in real time, that's not use case, no. So you have to check what exactly the real time application, the audience or how the users are using, what is the graphs. I mean, what is the if it is already in production, how the patterns are there, how users are coming on when it's logging off. So we have to check all these things and you have to decide the ramp up. Okay, so script is done. And if you see here, it took around 1 hour, 31 minutes.
1 minute 31 seconds.
Yeah, sorry. 1 minute, 90 seconds around because last 10 seconds will be gone. Na? That's why. Okay, it's clear, right? Ramp up. No doubts, right? The ramp up.
No, right.
Yeah. Okay. Now, next component is loop count. So loop count is nothing but iterations. How many iterations you want to do per user? Okay, per user nothing but. So once you're done with the script, right? Again, for same user, not other user. If you see, this is like multiple users. User one, user two, user two. But here loop count is nothing but same user only. How many times you have to repeat the script? Okay. Suppose we have U1 is there now. So executed one request. So now U2 will come, one request. But meanwhile, if it's done with one request, if I want to repeat same again, I want execute same user one more request. That should be called loop count. Call it is nothing but for each user, how many times he has to repeat the same script. Suppose I given 1 year, na 1 year means it will do one script only. That's why you see only one request. Now if I give 3 here, so what does it mean? I want to run 3 times of each API for each user. Okay, so total how many APIs will come if I run it now?
30.
That no, 30. 10 into 3 into 1. We have kept one request, na? So 1 into 10 into 3. Suppose let me put I have kept 2 here. Now how many requests will come total?
10 into 3 into 2,
Yeah,
60.
10 into 3 into 2, 60. Right? So now let's see. So I disabled it. Let me run. Okay, we have more ramp up, right? So if you see, all the one user is done with the script. First one, second one, third one. Now again, after again 10 seconds gap, again second user come and he executed same script repetition of 3 times. Third user 3 times. Understood, right? The loop count. So nothing but how many times each user has to repeat the script.
3 times repeat, no, bro, this one?
For each user.
For each user.
So that's why each user has repeating 3 times. Suppose now it's okay. You able to remember and using. Well, like suppose like after 1 month you practice. I mean, got some project or using JMeter. So at that time, you forget what is about ramp up and loop count difference.
Yes, this will happen.
This will happen, Paka. And at that time, you can't refer video or you can't refer. I mean, if you are in office, right? I mean,
Confuse, yes,
immediately you
yes.
can't refer everything. So in that case, what you have to do, just select that group here, click Control H. Control and H. So it lightly open to your JMeter page of that group. And which component you select and could do Control H, right? It will open that component. And just read these things. So based on examples, what we just in the class, and if you read at that time, you will get the things. Suppose just scroll down. If you see here, where is that? So number of users to simulate. What is the ramp up? How long JMeter would take to get all threads started? If there are 10 threads and ramp up of 100 seconds, then each thread will begin 10 seconds after the previous thread started. In total time 100 seconds to get the test fully started. Understood right now? So this, I mean, whenever practice, whenever remember the real examples, this theory will just able to reconnect. Okay, so let's see what is a loop count. So number of times to perform the test case. Alternative infinite can be selected using test run until manually stopped or end of the test line is reached. Okay, nothing but how many times you have to perform the test case for each user. Understood now? So when I just this will help us a little bit if you forget. Suppose let's say we use stable I forget right? What is about and how to do. So simply do Control H. So it will come to here and it will showcase what is what.
Bro, here latency means throughput, not throughput.
No, we'll discuss metrics part. It's clear, right? This Control H, nothing but Control Help. Okay, so whenever you're not able to remember, or suppose see, let's may put a regular expression extractor. Okay, I added somehow, okay, regular expression in extractor, but we forgot about this template. What is template? So want to do simply Control H. So it says this is a picture and this is a explanation, and what is each parameter it is to field to check. Name of the variable, what is the expression you have to write, what is the template, what is the match number, like this. I mean, immediately if you want to, I mean, you are not getting time of checking the video or you're not checking over old scripts, the time you can refer this. Okay, yeah. So let's go to that group. So, right, loop count. So look at nothing but to repeat same script for single user. Okay, so I have only one request here in the script. If I run the script, totally how many executions will happen? I mean, how many APIs, total number of APIs I can see? Tejasvi, first you tell the answer. If I run the script now, I have one API in the script. If I run the script now, total how many APIs will come? Yeah, Nirila?
How many, bro?
I think
One API, na?
Shweta?
It will be 6 into 35 into 7.
Suresh?
Mm,
How many APIs are kept here? One API.
210 for
Okay.
each 7 will get a gap for 30. You can
So,
see.
no.
6 only, I think.
No, forget about the gap. Irrespective of whatever the gap, it will get same count. No, now simple. User 6 into 11, so loop count into number of requests. 6 7s are 42, 42 into 1 will get 42 output. You understood, right? Irrespective of the gap, will get same count, no?
Huh.
So simple. Loop count into users into number of APIs. 6 users, 7 loop means each user has to do 7 times.
7 times.
So 6 into 7, 42 times. So 42 times they will hit the scripts under this. So how many APIs we have under that group? We have only one. So 40 into 1 will got 42.
Mean to say only 42 requests is here.
Yeah, it will execute only total number of execute is 42. If you see here, 42. Number of samples. Got it right? So that's why I kept 35 here so that I know, I mean, it might be a little bit confusing. Understood? Till I have a doubt, everyone.
If I put ramp up period 1 also same output, right?
Same also, same output, yes. It won't change the counter. The ramp up will help us only to distribute the user to user gap. It won't control the number of requests.
Okay. The number of requests controlled by the threads only, right?
Users only. If you have more number of users, you will see more things. Okay. Now Tejas, you tell me the answer now. I have two APIs. What is the output now?
30. How many APIs?
Two APIs.
2. 64 will get.
64. 8 into 4 into 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Niril, I got it right?
Yes, Ravi got it.
Okay. It's clear now? So this will help us, this thread properties, this three will help us to create a load based on the pattern. The pattern, how do you want to decide that, like that, it will come here.
Ravitesh, in real time, we are doing only one loop, no? Or it will be multiple also there.
That is scenario to scenario, right? Project to project. The demands will have more loop. It's not like limited to only one.
Okay.
The way you design your load model, right? The application requires like that, you can decide that one.
Okay.
Okay.
If I increase this one, that number of requests also should increase. Correct, no?
Okay. Now, if you keep here infinite, what it means, so you can't check everything. If you keep infinite here, it might disable now. It means it will keep on running your script based on your 8 users and based on your ramp up. It means once they run with the first set, right, they'll go second set, third set, fourth set, fifth set. Same users will do same thing. Infinite means it will keep on running the script only. It won't stop. So why you have to use infinite is, suppose if you want to run a script for long duration, like hours. So I want to run for 1 hour or 2 hours, or I want to do more load, I want to do stress testing. So in that case, I want to keep on pushing the application load, right? So in that case, we'll use infinity. Okay, but how to stop? So two options are there. One way to stop the script is you can stop manually after some certain time, or you can use this is our lifetime option. Okay, suppose let me keep here 1. Okay, and let me give 1. Okay, now if I run the script, see, they keep on executing and it won't stop. Let me keep score automatically here so it don't get that down. See, 40, 50, it will keep on running and until unless you stop it manually. So whenever doing for higher load test, when I'm doing for load, in that cases, you can use this option. Okay, infinite option. So let me stop script manually, then only script will stop. Okay, that's infinite. So always make sure you should be careful when using infinite option. So because you should keep an eye on the script. Suppose you click on execution button and run, and if you forget, right, it will kill your memory of your apps. Because you keep on pushing the load, now what will happen? 1 or 2 hours fine. If suppose you forget whole night, your application will be down, right? Due to this your load only. So you should be careful when you are using this infinite option.
So when do we use this infinite, Ravi?
Yeah, that's why mostly it's like whenever doing stress testing or you want to long duration, like 2 hours, you want to run a script. So in that case, use an infinite option. Okay, so you instead of like I mean your application need constant load to know how it performs, right? At the time you can simply use an infinite.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Now if you see here, same user on each iteration. Yeah, same user on each iteration. Okay, so now let's go to this thread group page only. Where is the same user on each iteration? Just read it and tell me what you guys understand. Completed reading? Because very, very important option. The same user on each iteration. Guys, understood anything on that? Or shall I explain?
Explained or not understood?
Everyone?
Yeah, it seems that it will use the same data for the next request as well if it is selected.
Yeah, because see, why I guys asked to read, right? So that you will be familiar with the terms in the page. Okay, so let's see. Now, so we added cookie manager, right? Why we added cookie manager? Because to make it look like a browser and to pass the data from other request. One request, other request automatically. Correct. That's why we add a cookie manager, no? So now, if we kept here same user on each iteration, it means the very first request, whatever we hit it, right? From the response, it has some cookies or some cache. Okay. So if you check this option, it means that cookie and cache from first request will go to all other requests using this cookie manager. Okay. So that every time it will be kind of sync only. But if you uncheck it here, it means every time it need a cookie and cache freshly. So if your application is able to give you that, you can check this option. Otherwise, if your application doesn't have that behavior, or if you don't want to use anything, no, by default, keep this check same as each iteration. Okay, so if we click on this, whenever you got the cookies and cache of the first request, that will be going to the all other requests automatically. If not, it won't do that. Okay.
So if we don't select that in that case,
So if
does
your
the
application,
response?
that's why if your application doesn't require the cookie for every request, it will work.
Mhm.
But your application needed the cookies of all the requests, and you will get error. Even though you do correlation, even though you do cookie manager, it won't work.
So the
you have to check
response
this.
time also changes when we use
Response
this?
time, no, it doesn't matter. Response is like difference of milliseconds. But you won't get the expected response.
Okay.
Yeah. So it will fail only. So by
Here,
default,
here cookie and cache both are same, huh?
no. I'm telling you
In
example. If the application demands cookies and cache separately, then you do that.
Okay.
Yeah. 90% is the cookie manager only, not cache. Only 5 to 10% only is dependent on the cache manager. Okay. It's a same user on each iteration. Okay. So now if you given here 10 or 20, right? So how it needs some memory. I mean, it needs some support or resources, to create that much of load. Correct. I can give 1 lakh or 1 crore also. So how it will work? How JMeter becomes a load testing tool? So what is the logic beyond that? So let's see. Suppose if I give you here 1 or 2 or 5 or something, it will take. I mean, the JMeter will take resources from your machine. It will take resources from your machine, means your RAM. So how to check your machine RAM? How to check your machine RAM? Let's go to this PC and right click, properties. If you see here now, installed RAM is 16 GB. So in our offices, you might be seeing 32 GB or 4 GB or 8 GB based on what our configuration, right? Our personal laptops, right? It could be around minimum of 4, no? Maximum of you may seeing 64 or 128 GB. Based on our, if I have a higher configuration office laptops you take, it could be around 128 GB. So this RAM is complete. I mean, JMeter is complete dependent on RAM only. If you are running a 4 GB RAM computer laptop, and if you want to go for higher load script, it won't work. You will get some errors. Not server errors, JMeter errors only. Because JMeter doesn't have memory to create the users to run our load test. Okay. So the higher the capacity is there, the higher is better for the higher load test. If you want to do in a single machine, if you want to do the load test, I mean, like, now not for 100 or 200 or 500, that's okay. But going for 5,000, 10,000, 1 lakh, and if you have a script is very big one, then in this case, you have to go for higher RAM machine.
Yes, mostly we are doing this load test on the servers only, right? Not
Where,
our single machines. Because
yes,
of this
wherever
reason.
the RAM is available. Yes. Okay, because JMET is completely depend on this RAM only. So to understand much more here, let's open the task manager. So if you see here, Java is right because JMeter depend on Java. If you just explain it, you will see JMeter. So when I write the script, you will see this memory will be increasing automatically. Now let's run the script again. I'll show. What is value now? It's around 5761 MB, right? And 44% of memory. Now if you run the script, just slowly up it will check. The numbers will vary here. I mean, I kept only 2 requests now, that's why it's not taking much. But if you keep it in a normal script and running for more number of users, okay, sorry, I kept only 1 user. Let me put some 100 users. One user means only one. It will take 1 year, one memory. If you see now, 782, right? 794, 800 MB. Observe. So it's like around 1 GB RAM, right? Around 1 GB RAM to your JMeter only. So you have other RAM for your running to OS. If you have any other machine system, I mean other applications, right, to run on it, it need that. See 1.4 GB. So if you're not having a higher GB system versions, you can't use JMeter for higher loads. So that's why it's always advisable to run our JMeter scripts in a higher configured machines or a separate individual machines where no other application are running, so that all the memory will be dedicated to JMeter. It could be our servers, it could be our cloud machines, it could be any machines where no other applications are running in it. Okay, now in my system I have memory to run, right? So whenever there is no memory to run, but this JMeter script run, it will throw errors like, it will throw. Let me stop the script. Right, it will throw errors like out of memory or socket exception. And if you in that case now, if you see here in sample there, the response code and response message both are some same time of error. That means a geometry issue. If you see any response code like 200 or 500 or 400 series, it means our application issue. But if you see here error code, like out of memory, exception, execute request timeout. If you see this type of errors, it means it's our geometry script. Our geometry script doesn't have a memory to run it. Okay, so now why we're discussing this now? Right now, if you see, let me open Excel. Okay, so my users, let's say my users are 1,000. So let's say you 100. Okay, and ramp up is, what is the ramp up? Let's say 1,000. Now what is used as a gap? What is used as a gap?
1,000
10.
1000 by 100.
10.
10
So
right?
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
10 seconds. Okay, let me put 10,000 seconds as a ramp up. Now
100.
100 seconds are used as a gap. And say, let's say script execution will take only, it will take only just 10 seconds. It means the script will, whenever the user starts, it will complete the script in 10 seconds. It means whenever user launches, let's say user has started script at 1 minute. So it will complete the script in 1 or 11 seconds, right? Let me put one more over here. Okay, but you understood, right? It takes 10 seconds only. So now when your user 2 will come, when your user 2 will come after 100 seconds gap. I mean around 111 when let's say 1101. Correct. So after 100 seconds only gap. So meanwhile, user 1 is taking only 10 seconds to complete the script. So whatever 90 other seconds, JMeter will be free. I mean, JMeter can't do anything, and our application also will be free. There is no other load. Correct? Understood, right? All these numbers now. Guys, this is very important because based on this, you will analyzing your script, how it's working, how the load is distributing. That's why it's very careful to analyze. Otherwise, I mean, you can run the script, but sorry, you can write a script, but while running only, you'll get a lot of doubts. So ramp up is clear, right? First, 100 seconds gap. And script execution time, 10 seconds. It's clear, na?
How will we get the script execution time?
So let's say, I'll keep one here. Let's put one here. So for one user, how much time it's taking? Say, if I run the script now, I got output at what is 1 second.
Okay.
So my script will take only 1 second time.
So,
Okay.
okay, for one user, it was taking 1 second.
1 second. So if I give 2 users, so as it's a very small script, you won't see much differences. Right? Over 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Yeah. So generally we'll have some time. Like for one user, what is the ideal time?
Okay.
Okay.
So first we need to analyze that for one user.
Correct. So for one user, how much it's taking? Suppose you have some around 20, 30 APS, right? So for one user, if you run, you will get to know some 10 seconds or 15 seconds. So we will keep in that mind because while doing a load test, no, or when how many users you want to add, how the ramp up is divided, no, based on this number only that will come here. Okay. Now, so clear, right? Script execution time and ramp up. So now U1 starts at 101 and you complete at 111. And after 100 seconds only U2 will come. Clear or
Yes.
not? Till this
Yeah.
time, right? Everyone.
So only after the execution time, after 100 seconds, the next thing will start, right?
No. In this 100 seconds only, the 10 seconds ramp up will be there. Sorry. 10
Okay,
execution
okay.
also there. Because
Mhm.
user don't know, right? How much time. Daemon doesn't know
Yeah.
how much time it is. You simply start, you calculate 100 seconds.
Okay,
So if let's
okay.
say our script is taking 110 seconds for one user.
Hmm.
So what happens at the time? U1 and U2 will be there here for 10 seconds common time. So then U1 will done and U2 will continue.
Okay, okay.
So that means if U1 finishes at 110, U2 will be starting at 100 second only.
100 second only. So for the 10 seconds overlap, you will see 2 users on the application.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so what JMeter does right now, when I click on run button, JMeter by default allocates memory for all 100 users. It means it will allocate whatever the memory to run for all 100 users. Now, it will allocate all the memory to 100 users. But if you observe here, are we using all 100 users at starting only? No,
No.
right? We have a lot
No.
of gap. So now, if by default, if allocating memory of 100 users initially, and if there is no memory to run our script, right? Because let's say you're running in a low configuration machine. So in that case, what happens? Script will get errors. So here we are unnecessarily blocking the memory. Correct. So what I do instead of that, I want to do allocate memory whenever the user is required. Because I have some gap here so that memory could be reutilized again. Correct. So that script will run properly without any errors. So in that case, you have to use delay thread creation until needed. We can't see, I mean, in the real time how these things, but if check it, internet work like this way. So what does it mean? Delay thread creation until needed means delay the creating of thread. So create whenever required means at the starting, if you check that, I mean to create only block the memory for one user. Once in 10 seconds execution will done, so it will release the memory of one user. Again after 100 seconds, you will start at that time it will take the one user memory. So that it will delay the thread whenever required only. Is not will create or not will allocate all the memory initially. So when you are going for higher load test, right? Like for 1,50,000, you have a very bulky script and you are doing low configuration. At that time, this will help a bit. Not fully, but bit. So when you are going for higher load in the lower configuration, it's always better to use delay thread creation until needed.
Yeah, only for memory allocation of a purpose.
Yes. Suppose you are using 1 second ramp up only. Assume that. At that time, it doesn't matter. Because in 1 second, it means all users have to start immediately, right? Even the check, uncheck, based on script, it needs memory. Understood? If you give one in some cases. But if you're going higher ramp up, in that case, it's always advisable use this option to run a script smoothly without any memory errors. Got it? Action related creation needed. So safe side says just check this option. You don't have to worry about scripting response. Just check it. So whenever going for lower configuration machines, higher load, it will work. Clear it? Deleted creation until needed. So JMeter also works, and that way it will depend on your system resources. That's why you can't you can't run any number of load in your script. Generally, people say, no, JMeter is open source tool and you can run it based on your system availability. If you're running 128 GB RAM machine, you will run 1 lakh. But you're using 4 GB machine, you can't say that I can run 1 lakh or 2 lakh on your JMeter. It's clear? Now, next thing is specify thread lifetime. So specify thread lifetime is you want to schedule your test. Suppose you want to run your test in your night time. Okay. Or you want to run your test, some application deployed after 1 hour, you want to run your test. So to get after 1 hour means we can't wait, right? I mean, you can't put alarm and wait for like that 1 hour is happening, start the test. Right? So in that case, or when using infinite loop, what infinite will do, it will keep on running a script until manual stop. So in that case, suppose you want to you want to stop the script after some time when using infinite. So in this case, this scheduler will help us. Scheduler nothing but specify thread lifetime. Just check this option, then only these two boxes are enabled. Okay. So first is duration means how long you want to run our script. Suppose I want to run 10 seconds. So given 10 seconds, after 10 seconds, your JMeter will stop your script forcibly. Okay, so let's see. Let me run and see whether really working or not. The script is completed, right? If you see play button enabled means, start run button enabled means, script is completed. How much time it taken? What is script execution time?
1 second.
1 second.
But I given 10 seconds, right? So this will applicable only if your execution time is more than this value. If your script taken 20 seconds, then it will stop at 10 seconds. But if script taking time, execution time is less than this, then it won't stop it. Because less than it, right? How it will control? Suppose let's say I put here, okay, let's say I put here some 20. Okay, now let's see. It's clear, run. Oh, okay. So 20 into 2, how much? Oh, okay, we got 40 only. Okay, exact take 10 only. Let me put some 40 here. So what is total number of requests now will come if I run the script now? Total number of APIs.
40.
How many APIs are kept in my thread group?
2.
2.
Hmm.
Okay, sorry.
80.
80.
2 into 40 into 1. So 80 will come, right? Now let's see, run the script and how many will come. Because we kept here duration of 10 seconds, no? So this duration will only applicable if our execution time is more than this. See, the script is stop. And by actually how many we should get? We should get 80, right? See, but we got 40 because script has stopped in between due to scheduling time. Okay. So whenever using for higher load, I mean not higher load, sorry. Whenever going for more load, right? I mean like then sometime you want to run the script. In the infinity case, this will work more because in infinity, obviously it always more than a duration, right? It could be 100 or it could be 1,000, it could be 1 lakh, also it's more than infinite time. Where infinite means we keep on running the script only. Right? Suppose if I give 5 seconds here and give infinite here, let's see. After exact 5 seconds, the script will be stopped. See? Exact 5 seconds stop. Understood, right? The duration. But as I mentioned, I want to run in a 1 script hour. Right? How do we do that? How do you configure that? We configure that using startup delay. This startup is nothing but if I give some time here, suppose let's say I give 10, it means I need to click run button here. Once you click on run button, after 10 seconds, one script will start and will run for 5 seconds. So let's run. And if you see here, there's no data, no load. After 10 seconds, you see 0, 4, 5. See, and you can see 0 by 0. Okay. 9, 10. Then see script is started one by one. And again, you'll run for 5 seconds, the script will stop. 15. So 10 seconds, nothing but script will wait for 10 seconds to start. Once 10 seconds done, it will run. And what is duration I given? And given 5 seconds of duration. So it will run for 5 seconds and will stop the script.
So it will be startup. Startup is like only for the starting of the script.
Yes.
Only for the first user. Startup.
No. For all the users. I mean, once one user triggered means startup is done.
Script execution time start. Correct, na?
No, kind of execution. Script will start from the one user onwards, right? Even though you have 100 users, 10 users, don't worry. One user will start only after the 10 seconds time. If first user started, right, remaining based on your ramp up, other users will start.
Correct. Okay, got it. And if I want to put 60 minutes, minute convert to seconds,
Yes, not convert into seconds.
okay.
So they got it right now?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's see.
So it will work only for the first time, right? Like execution of the script.
No, didn't get you.
The delay time. The startup delay.
Only first time only. Yeah.
The first time. Yeah.
Only when to script to start. That's why I want to start 1 hour, right? So I'll calculate 1 hour into second 3600. I'll put here and run the script. I'll leave. So after 1 hour, it should start automatically.
Okay.
Okay. And the same, I mean, conditions are your the system which is even running, it should have power and internet. Otherwise, no use, no? Even they schedule it.
Yes.
It's okay? It's clear, right? Now, let's see one more topic here called action to be taken after a sampler error. What is sampler?
HTTP
Request.
Yeah, it's a request. Our API is the protocol. Means if a API is failed, so what action to be taken? Okay, means we are having 10 APIs in our script. Right? So out of 10 APIs, one API got failed. So what is action JMeter should take? So why we have the explicit option is there? Because suppose you are doing some login script, right? If your login is failed, but JMeter, what JMeter will do, it will contain the script only. Correct? So what happens? All other flows will fail, right? Because of login failure. So now if you see here, our error percentage is increasing due to our scripting issue. See, if login is failed, I don't want to continue the script now, because there is no use of running the script. Understood? Right? Suppose let's take add to cart payment. Add to cart. If add to cart is failed, there is no use of payment and checkout. So I want to stop the script, or I want to avoid that flow whenever add to cart is failed, because there is no use of going off after the scripts, right? So it create unnecessary error percentage. We need error percentage of the performance issues, of server issues, not our scripting issues. You can't say I got 60% error with this slide, with all 60% error out of scripting issues. Because we are doing some lakhs or thousands, right? So if one of the script is fail, I mean, all those will do same thing, right? And you will be spending 3 hours or 4 hours running a script, and you can't run a script with these type of errors. That's why you're wasting the whole time, resource of the application, and the resource who is running it. So in that case, we have to control, right? We have to control. Don't want to continue. There are scripting errors. That's where this action will be taken after sampler will be helpful. Okay, you guys understood, right? Why we have to handle this? Forget about how we will handle. Now you should know why. Why we are handling this. Hello?
Stopping.
In case
Sorry?
of any errors.
No, you got no why.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's very important, right? Because we are doing performance testing, not a manual testing or automation testing. Okay, I'll run one time. Okay, I got error. Let's run second time. Because you're doing 50,000 users, 10,000 users, and you have some 30, 40 APIs are there. It's a very messy thing if you run the scripts with these type of errors. Because once submit report to a client, says that 60% error is there, I can't go for. What is the type of errors? And the server side, they will say there is no errors on server side. But J1 doesn't know, right? If login fails or whatever it fails, it will continue only. Unless if you mention it. It's clear, everyone? Why is very important? Because we will be handling this in all our scripts. Okay?
Okay.
Yes. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.